Alrighty, the red light's on. That means we are live. Welcome in, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Going the Distance podcast. My name is Ryan Bonnell, and alongside me is my co-host Elijah Span. We are currently live on YouTube, Twitch, Twitter. You know the works by now, but got a lot to talk about today. As you can tell by the title, we're mostly going to be getting into some football, but first is a crazy UFC fight night went down over the weekend, so going to kind of recap that. I'm sure if you follow it, you've seen it by now, but the number one pound for pound fighter in the world got knocked the fuck out. So we'll talk about that and some more. And the return of Tail or Fade, which I am extremely excited about. If you've watched our podcast in the past, then you know that's kind of our sports betting segment where we banter back and forth on one another's picks. And of course, wrapping things up with Love It or Loathe It. But before we get into that, be sure and check us out on social media over at GTD_sports. Other than TikTok, we're at GTDsports.com. You can check out our personal accounts. As you see on screen, I am at Ryan Bonnell 8, and Elijah is at Elijah Span 19. Other than that, you can find the rest of our content on our website, gtdsports.com, where you can also find our code for BetUS Sportsbook, GTDS125, excuse me. Use that code on BetUS Sportsbook. You can get up to 125% deposit bonus when you sign up. So, I think that's about it. Let's go ahead and get into it. Starting things off like we always do with a little bit of a personal look, and that's a highlight, low light from the last week. Elijah, what do you got for us?
I'm having my two fantasy drafts this weekend. So the league that we're in together and the league I'm in with my friends, both are going to be pretty competitive. So I'm looking forward to that because it just means that we're there. We're almost at the finish line of the off season. And we're about to be blessed with NFL football for the next 6 months, and I can't wait.
Yeah, dude, it's right around the corner, baby.
Yeah,
it's so close.
We're right there. There. So I'm also excited about what my team's gonna look like. I have the number 2 pick in that one, and I have the number 9 pick in my other one. So interested to see how it's gonna turn out. But drafting is always one of my favorite parts about fantasy football. But it's always not, as we know, it's not about the draft. About the waiver wire. And then low light, KD and the Nets are moving forward together. This is my low light just because I wanted something to happen, and then nothing just ever did. But I think this means that player empowerment is going to go back towards the team a little bit.
I mean, yeah, I guess in that sense it's a good sign, yeah. But I agree. I'm also pretty bummed that nothing really came out of it. I mean, as a Heat fan, we were kind of thrown into the fire. Yeah, we were in there. We were in the race. But I didn't want to be in the race because it meant getting rid of all of our young stars. Tyler Hero, Bam wouldn't have been possible. But, you get the gist. We would have had to sacrifice a lot. So I'm kind of glad, but I'm not glad that he's staying in Brooklyn. I don't know. I mean, we'll see how it works out. I don't think it's going to work out again. They're going to be a little bit overvalued. The market's going to love them, as they should. I mean, it's KD, Kyrie, and is Ben Simmons going to be back in the picture next year?
I don't know.
You never know. He should be, but who knows? It's Ben Simmons, so.
Over under on games played together, where are you putting it at?
That's a great question. That's a great question.
Is it in the 30s?
It has to be in the 30s. Yeah, maybe 40 would be pushing it because that would be half the season together. Yeah,
I'd put it 41.
41? No, I'd put it lower than that. Either way, I'm taking the under. I'm taking the under. They're not playing even half the season together. But all right, so I'll go ahead. My highlight from past week. I'll go obviously football week 0, as you can tell from the title. Week 0 is this Saturday. Even though it's not the most attractive games on the board, it's still football. It's college football. So I think the first game is Austin, PA versus Western Kentucky. Don't care. My eyes are going to be glued to the TV, especially until Nebraska and Northwestern comes on.
That kicks off at 11, doesn't it?
I don't do my times. I'm in Arizona now, man. My times are messed up.
Kicks off at 9.
I got to get used to 9 a.m. football, man. It's rough, but yeah. So low light, as we'll get into this in a second, is I was 50 seconds away from making a bag over the weekend. I had a decent amount riding on Kamaru Usman and Leon Edwards. You know what he did. Well, let's get into that right now. So before we get into football, we're just going to quickly recap UFC 278. which was probably one of the craziest knockouts you're going to see for a long, long time. Leon Edwards against Kamaru Usman was the main event. Edwards clearly won round one, surprisingly, against the champ. He came to play, but then after that, he just got outclassed, completely dominated. Usman had it in the bag. It wasn't even close. And then with 50 seconds left, man, Leon hit that little fake upwards leg kick with the left and completely lights out. Usman's never been knocked out in his UFC career. It was absolutely absurd. I was at Sportsbook watching it. Papers were flying in the air. People were running around, man. I couldn't believe what happened. So it was nuts. But did you get to watch it live? Or I'm sure you've at least seen clips.
No, I just saw the clip.
It's absolutely absurd. So just to finish out the rest of the card, Luke Rockhold retired after his fight with Paulo Costa, which was a lot closer than one would have expected. It was a hell of a fight. He's a former middleweight champ, so it's kind of sad to see him retire now, but he's not at the top of his game. He's not going to be able to compete. And at the end of the fight, I don't know if you saw it on social media, but he literally got him in a grapple and was rubbing blood all over his face intentionally, basically as a giant middle finger at the end of the fight. So I thought that was funny. And last but not least, Jose Aldo is also retiring, apparently, after losing to, can't even say his name, man, Merab Dvalishvili at 35. Oh, hey, Elijah, you got a Cowboys fan. Cowboys had his fire. But yeah, Aldo's retiring. He's won his previous 3 fights, but I mean, he's 35 years old. He said if he doesn't have a shot at the title, he doesn't want to fight anymore, and I get it. He just lost his shot at the title, so not to harp too much on the past, looking forward in UFC, we got some huge bouts to anticipate. Cyril Gane versus Tai Tuivasa coming up in a couple weeks.
Very excited for that.
Yeah, that's going to be electric.
I
can't have to ride Tai.
I can't believe that it's not a pay-per-view fight. Like, we're getting blessed.
I can't believe that it's a real fight. Like, although I love Tai Tuivasa, he's fun. He drinks beer out of a shoe. Great. He's going to get his ass beat. Like, Cyril Gane is a different breed of human.
You think so?
I don't know.
I can't fade him. I love him too much.
I know. That's what I'm saying. It's like the value's on him. He's like plus 500, like plus 400 or something. So I don't know, but that's going to be fun to watch. Also, we got Khamzat Chimaev versus Nate Diaz coming up in a month or so. And then UFC 280. Don't even get me started. I'm already looking forward to that at the end of October. We got, the main event, Charles Oliveira, Islam Makhachev. That's going to be electric. We got Petr Yan versus Sean O'Malley, bro. That's going to be insane. Aljamain Sterling.
Sean O'Malley's finally going to get a real fight?
Yeah, a real fight.
What the fuck?
It's more than a real fight, bro. He's probably fighting the best bantamweight in the world right now. I mean, I know he's not champ, but Petr Yan's the best.
Yeah, I mean, he was kicking Aljamain Sterling's ass in that fight until he illegally hit him with that knee.
Which is his own fault, you know. But I'm also Sterling's fighting on that card. He's fighting TJ Dillashaw. So I'm very excited for that. Yeah, Dillashaw's getting a title shot after his whole doping scandal and everything.
Okay.
Which, say what you will about that. But, all right, now that we're through UFC, just had to get that in there because this fight card was absolutely nuts. Let's hop into some football. And we have a little bit of college football picks coming up gambling-wise in a little bit. But first, let's stick with the NFL as we like to do. And we're going to do something we've never really done before, a segment kind of a would you rather style, but I have a list of players I picked out for Elijah and vice versa. He has some he's going to pick out for me. So, for example, the first one is Justin Herbert. I'm going to list off random quarterbacks around the league, and Elijah's going to tell me whether or not he's going to go with Justin Herbert or the player I'm listing. So let me get my list. I need the visual, you know.
Yeah.
Starting QBs. All right. So, like I said, Justin Herbert is the first one up. All right. So, I'll give you I already know what you're going to say about this one, but we got to start it out somehow. Kirk Cousins.
Oh, Herbert.
Okay. Matthew Stafford. Getting a little bit harder.
Man. He didn't have a great record with the Lions, but he was.
He may not have had a great record, but he had a lot of statistical records. Like he had 7 years with 4,000 plus passing yards.
Man, I
While
have to
his
roll with
receivers were
Stafford, Super
dog
Bowl
shit.
champion. I mean, Stafford, just because Herbert's never even been to the playoffs, and Stafford won a Super Bowl last year. So
That is the correct answer. I just wanted to see how far your
my
Herbie
Herbert
fandom would
love
go.
would go.
Yeah, exactly. All right, let's see. Another one. I'm trying to make it a little bit harder because there's some that are just too obvious. Let's go Russell Wilson. I
Herbert,
feel like that's a tough one. Really? Okay.
Herbert, yeah.
That one's really close for me.
He's kind of declined in the past 2 years. I remember 2 years ago he had that MVP run in the first half of the season, like the let Russ cook thing, and then he was terrible down the stretch, awful.
Yeah.
And then last year he
You're
broke
right.
his finger. He was good for like the first like 3 or 4 weeks of the season. He's gonna start out hot. Week 1, bet the Broncos, and I think the Broncos are playing the Seahawks week 1.
Oh, that's beautiful. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely bet the Broncos if that's the case. I
Yeah,
don't care what
so
the
he's
spread
gonna
is.
go off.
Well, I will
Um,
say though, in his defense, a little bit. I know he had that injury, but the Seahawks were just a hot ball of fire last season
No,
in all
yeah,
the
they're-
wrong ways. They
They're
were bad.
dumpster fire.
Yeah.
Um,
So, all right.
But still,
going
I'd
with
rather have
Herbie, though?
Herbert. Yeah, just because, dude. When I think about Herbert, I think about that Week 18 game and where he literally willed that team to go to overtime. Like that was a showing. It's very rarely do you get to see a guy will just by sheer will put his team in the game. Like it doesn't happen like with every player. Like Rodgers does it, Brady does it.
Burrow does it,
Burrow
baby.
Burrow does it.
I'm talking about Bengals.
Who else? I'm trying to think of. That's like it. Is those
Yeah,
five?
no,
guys.
there's only a set list, like a very minuscule amount of guys that really have the X factor. Like I forgot who said it.
Stafford's
but
done it in the past.
There's a quote that was like, "There's a very select few quarterbacks in the NFL that will win you a Super Bowl. Then there's a select few that you can win a Super Bowl with, and then there's the rest that just aren't good enough."
Mhm.
So for me, like those like top 5 guys, like you just mentioned, are those guys that will go and win you a Super Bowl. Like Joe Burrow, the fact that the Bengals got there,
Is all
insane.
him.
Yeah, is him. And so, and then there's like that subgroup. Like I think, I don't know, not to dog on your Cowboys, but I think Dak Prescott is a quarterback you can win a Super Bowl with. Like he's good enough.
Yeah,
to
not
do
because of. I agree with
yes, yeah. But all right, so continue. You got one from the comments. Derek Carr. Are you going with Herbie or Carr?
that. Man, I'm going Herbie.
Yeah, I think you kind of
I'm
have
going
to.
again.
As
I
much as
loved
I
it.
love-
I love Derek Carr. That's no Derek Carr slander. I have like I said before, I have a pretty heavy future on the Raiders to win the AFC West, but that's more to do with the team and Josh McDaniels than has to do with the 2 quarterbacks.
All right, so this one, I already know what you're going to say, but I need to hear it. Herbert or Burrow?
I knew you were gonna ask me this, and I was
Yeah,
thinking about like how I'm gonna say it.
You know what the correct answer is. Come on.
Well, statistically,
Barely, bro. Barely.
Herbert.
Statistically, okay, but how many playoff games has he won?
0. So that's why
God, I feel weird making that
just-
argument as a Bengals fan.
I just
That just
don't.
shouldn't happen.
I just don't even want to like take a pick because I think during the regular season it was clear that Herbert was better than Burrow, and then the playoffs started.
Yes, I'm hesitant to agree, but I think you might be right because you're right. Like stats wise, he was barely ahead of them the whole
Yeah.
way. Barely.
And if the team could have just got their shit together in OT, then we could be looking at a different story because Herbert could show what he has got in the playoffs. But we'll never know because the Chargers are going to Chargers.
All right, last one for Herbert, Patrick Mahomes.
Pat Mahomes, come on.
Okay, good. I just, I have to test your fandom for Herbert here. So, all right, let's just rotate. We'll go every other. So, who do you got for me first?
Let's see. I'm going to give you Aaron Jones.
That is an interesting one. Running backs might be
No.
tough too, because teams are deep.
So let me get this. Let me start thinking about, okay, Aaron Jones or Zeke Elliott.
Ooh, that's tough. Okay, I think that's really tough. I think you also have to kind of take it at face value for like their situations, because they both have a good running back too in the same locker room. I would say like Zeke has pass catching ability as well, but they mostly rely on Pollard for that. While same thing with the Packers, they kind of thrown Dylan into the passing game a lot more. I don't know, man. I think I'm gonna have to go like right now. I'm taking Aaron Jones. If you were to ask me
Okay.
2 years ago, I'm taking Zeke, but it's really
Okay.
close.
Yeah. Aaron Jones or Leonard Fournette?
Oh, I think you got to go Aaron Jones, unless we're talking about in the playoffs. Playoff Lenny is
Playoff
something
Lenny's a
different,
different
man.
beast.
Yeah, playoff Lenny just enters the zone.
Okay. Aaron Jones or Kareem Hunt?
See, maybe if we have seen more from Kareem Hunt, like maybe if he was a running
Is
back
it
one,
number one?
yeah, then
Because
maybe
I was gonna
might
go with
lean
Nick
towards
Chubb,
him.
but Nick Chubb's obviously better than Aaron Jones, right?
Yeah, that would be definitely Chubb. Yeah, I think you got to go with Jones here. I would like to give Kareem Hunt the attention, but I don't know if we've seen enough from him to contest Jones.
Okay. Josh Jacobs.
Ooh, I think Josh Jacobs has talent, but Las Vegas, my bad. Las Vegas has a good line, and he hasn't necessarily done anything crazy. Like, I think he's had,
Well,
2,000-yard seasons already,
His
though?
first two
Yeah.
seasons were 1,000-yard seasons.
So that's pretty damn good. I'm still going Aaron Jones, honestly.
Okay.
If I'm
mean,
building a team,
The only ones that are left are just obvious ones like McCaffrey, Jones. McCaffrey's better than Jones.
yeah, you got to go McCaffrey.
Dalvin Cook and Jonathan Taylor. Like,
Definitely, yeah.
what do you think about Saquon?
I'm taking Jones.
Yeah, I'm taking Jones too.
I'm taking Jones. Get me away
Okay.
from Saquon. It's so sad, man, how Saquon has fallen off. I mean, it's not really fallen off. It's injuries. It's the Giants being a garbage organization. It's a whole bunch of things. It's them not having an offensive line. Yada, yada, yada. All right, so next up for you, I got another quarterback. I think this one's pretty interesting to look at, and that's Jordan Love. Okay? Even though he's a backup, I think there's cases to be made for him over a few quarterbacks. So I'll start us off. Let's go Jordan Love or Daniel Jones.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm not going to throw in the top guys like Tom Brady because obviously,
No.
yeah. So these are kind of bottom tier. Would you rather have Jordan Love take over as a starter or
Because
stick with this guy?
Danny Dimes got the experience. He's got the running ability. Jordan Love's only start was very, very mediocre.
Average,
Covered the
yeah.
spread though, my guy.
Big
1-0 against the spread. I think for potential, I'm gonna go with Jordan Love.
I like it. I think so. I would have to too. I'm trying my best to hop off the Danny Dimes bandwagon, like the illusion.
Because it's not.
It's
gonna
done.
happen.
Yeah, the illusion that I've been under, whatever spell some witch hexed me with to make me think Daniel Jones is a competent quarterback. I don't know. It's gone. I'm done with him.
Some people
All
in the
right.
media, we're not the only ones, because people in the media are still like, he could be good, and I'm
Yeah.
falling into the I think he can be good, and then he's not.
I think I know what you're going to say about this one, but this is also really interesting to me. Jordan Love or Davis Mills?
Mills Mafia.
Mills Mafia, baby. I like it. Oh, you got a question. How much better can Daniel Jones get, and how long can the Giants wait for him to get there? Yeah, that's the thing. They've already waited, and
Yeah,
there's been
well-
barely any progression.
They already declined his rookie 5th-year option, so it's basically if he doesn't improve this year, then he's out of there. They're gonna rebuild with a new guy with a draft pick, because
Yeah,
it's either
and I mean-
he's good, he shows some promise, they win 7 to 9 games, and they're gonna rock with them, or they're gonna suck, they're gonna tank and win like 3 to 5 games, and they're gonna get rid of him. So
I think they should take. That's just in their best interest. I mean, because they've tried, I guess. They drafted Saquon, right? Saquon's supposed to be a stud. They got all these talented skill players like Kadarius Toney, Evan Ingram, who's never really been great after his rookie season. They signed Kenny Galladay, who was supposed to be a big help in the red zone, who was last season. And then now they brought on Wan'Dale Robinson, who's supposed to be also a spark like Kadarius Toney. It's just not going to work out. They've had weapons at receiver that are good enough to win you games. But yeah, Daniel Jones I'm done with him. Like I said, I was in that illusion that he could do something, but now I'm past it. It's been too long with nothing.
But then you look at his past 2 head coaches. It's been Joe Judge.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he hasn't had a good situation at all.
Yeah, so it's not like he's been put in his position to succeed either. So if anybody's going to get it out of him, it's going to be Daboll. And if Daboll can't do it, then he's just a lost cause.
Yeah. So back to the Jordan Love or Davis Mills. You said Mills Mafia?
Yeah, Mills Mafia all the way.
I think so too. I'm kind of drinking the Kool-Aid on Davis Mills right now. You know, yeah. I think he's going to be a
potentially
stud.
Franchise guy.
Yeah, I think he's going to be a stud. They just got to build around him. But all right, let's think another one. Jordan Love, or I don't know if he's too young to say, but let's go Jordan Love or Zach Wilson.
Man, it's too early to say on Zach Wilson or these 2 guys. I just really couldn't speak on that. In terms of potential, though, I mean, Zach Wilson was the 2nd overall pick for a reason.
Yeah.
He flashed it at BYU.
Yeah.
I mean, he did it against a little bit better than competition than Jordan Love did. Or actually, no, wait, he was Utah State, right?
Jordan Love was Nevada, right?
No, that was Carson Strong.
Yeah, you're right. I think he was Utah State then. Hold on, let me.
Utah State's Mountain West.
I think you're right. It is cute Mountain State. Jordan College. God damn it, I can't type. Yeah, Utah State. Yeah, you're right.
Okay.
I got to confuse Navy schools. You know.
So he went to a little bit more prestigious university, I guess, in terms of football and who they face, but not by a long shot.
Well, are you talking about BYU and Utah State?
Yeah, they're
and this.
No, because BYU's independent.
Yeah, I was about to, well, they play so many of the same opponents, but yeah, you're right.
Do.
Yeah, BYU's stubborn like that.
But no, I'm just gonna roll with Zach Wilson just because of draft position and how hyped he was going into the draft compared to Jordan Love. Jordan Love has always been a project. Zach Wilson's also a project, but he's a little bit more of a polished project. So, based on
that. Yeah, I like that answer. This one is tough.
And like you think they could have got something for Jordan Love at this point, or booted Rodgers out of there, but instead they signed Rodgers to an insane contract, and they're just going to let this guy die out.
Well, I mean, if you have the option to ride Aaron Rodgers into the end of his career or dish him off and take your chances with a new guy, I'm probably going to ride Aaron Rodgers,
Yeah, but why did they draft him in the first place then?
No, I mean, I agree. I don't understand. I think I would have liked to see him get taken into a different situation. From a fan's perspective, I want to see Jordan Love play. I want to see if he actually lives up to any of the potential that people have for him. But
yeah.
All right, I'll go one more, and let's go Jordan Love or Tua Tagovailoa.
Tua.
Or really? Okay. See, this is one where I might make like a little bit of a hot take, and I'm taking Jordan Love here.
Okay.
I would rather take the chance on Jordan Love than what I've seen from Tua. It's not good.
I think Tua might surprise us a little bit this year. I think he's got Tyreek, he's got Jalen Waddle, he's got my boy Cedric Wilson.
See, I feel a little bit of the opposite. I feel like the Dolphins' offense is going to severely disappoint, like, ironically.
I mean, they're not going to light the world on fire.
Yeah, you're right. But I wouldn't be surprised if Jalen Waddle finishes as their wide receiver 1 and not Tyreek Hill.
I wouldn't be surprised by that at all. He caught, 116 catches last year?
Oh, yeah. Dude's a PPR machine in fantasy, so. Mm-hmm. All right, switching over. Who's next on your list?
I got Lamar Jackson.
Oh, God.
So I'm going to start this one off with a hot one.
This should be fun, yeah.
Dak Prescott.
Give me Dak. I don't even need to think about that one. Give me Dak.
Okay.
I'm not a Cowboys fan, but give me Dak.
Okay, I like that answer. Let's see here. Deshaun Watson.
Oh, God, dude. You got to do this to me? Yeah. All right. First of all, fuck Deshaun Watson as a human being. I'm going to answer this question as if, truly.
Based on football.
Based on football, as if he wasn't a terrible human being that deserves to never play football again. But anyway, you got to go Deshaun Watson.
Okay.
It's I mean, who knows though? Now he hasn't played in so long. What if he just sucks? Like I remember talking about this a while back. Like, what if he comes back and he just sucks? You know, the Browns gave him all that money and he's just bad now. Like,
Yeah, I
we'll
thought about
never
that
know.
on the sole fact that it's the Browns.
Yeah, exactly. That's where quarterbacks go to die, man. And Chicago.
Derek Carr.
Ooh, that's a hard one for me. You know, I love Derek Carr, but Lamar Jackson. Man. I'm gonna go Derek Carr. Actually, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna put my money where my mouth is. I'm gonna go Derek Carr.
Disrespect for the MVP.
Slight disrespect. Yeah, I know.
Let's
That's
see
a tough
here.
one.
What about Trey Lance?
I'm going Lamar.
Okay, good.
Potential wise, yeah, sure, but I'm not super bought into Trey Lance just yet.
The media is on the Trey Lance hype machine. ESPN is all over Trey Lance.
Yeah, they love him.
Okay. Who else do I want?
Lamar's a good one. Lamar Jackson was a good choice for this.
Justin Herbert.
Yeah, give me Herbert. Herbert over Jackson. Yeah. You know, you're right. I feel like this is slightly just disrespectful to a former MVP winner, but at the same time, like if I'm building a team, like if I'm the GM, I'd rather have the other guys, you know? So, anybody else?
No, that's what I got for you. The other ones are either layups or for either one, so that'd be it.
All right, so my next one, I have one more quarterback, but just to switch it up right now, let's go with the wide receiver. And first one I got is Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Okay.
Who, yeah, I feel like is kind of an interesting one. Let's say Amon-Ra St. Brown or Mike Williams.
Mike Williams.
Okay.
He was hot the first half of the season. He kind of cooled off. He signed that big contract. I think he's going to be really good for the Chargers and Justin Herbert. He's going to be one of Herbert's go-to guys in the red zone.
I agree with that. I think he's going to have a really good year. Okay, Amon-Ra St. Brown or Chase Claypool.
I'm going to go Amon-Ra.
Okay, I think you have to. Yeah.
Chase Claypool kind of had that fluky rookie season, and he was still good last year, but he wasn't as good. I mean, he finished as wide receiver in the 80s for fantasy or something.
Who, Amon-Ra?
No. Claypool.
Oh, yeah, Claypool did not have a good fantasy year last year. No.
Yeah, so, and, he also cost the Steelers a game by celebrating instead of handing the ref the ball, which is hilarious. So for that, I'm gonna go Amon-Ra.
All right, yeah, I like Amon-Ra a lot, so that's why I felt like he might be kind of a tough one too. All right, Amon-Ra or Amari Cooper.
Amari Cooper.
Okay, that's I wanted to test you a little bit there. I don't know about in the Browns situation though. I don't know if he's gonna have that good of a year, but
I think he's gonna be a little washed. I think his best days are behind him.
Yeah,
but still Amari Cooper.
Yeah,
for this year.
I think you kind of have to. All right, so Amon-Ra St. Brown or Brandon Cooks.
Brandon Cooks is low key heat, and people forget this.
Thank you. Yeah, just because he's on the Texans, people forget it.
People forget about him, but no. Davis Mills was targeting him all season long. He had another 1,000-yard season. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Brandon Cooks.
All right, and now I'm gonna test you too a little bit. Michael Gallup or Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Man,
like when Michael Gallup's healthy, because I know he's been battling injury problems.
Michael Gallup, he's the best toe tap catcher in the league. You can quote me on that.
I can respect that. I think Gallup's going to have a really good season this year if he can.
Yeah, when he gets
actually
healthy.
Get healthy. Yeah, if he can actually get healthy. All right, last one I'll throw at you: Amon-Ra St. Brown or Van Jefferson.
Amon-Ra.
Okay,
I agree. Jefferson was the fourth option last year. He's a nice piece. Don't get me wrong. I like Van Jefferson, but Amon-Ra completely took over as the line's number one guy. The last 4 or 5 weeks of the season, it was incredible.
Yeah, Van Jefferson is like prime real estate for wide receiver 3. You know, like if you have a Van Jefferson as your wide receiver 3, you're in great position offensively. Alrighty, that's all I got for that. What do you got for me?
Okay. Keenan Allen.
Oh, there we go. This will be a fun one.
So,
I already know this is gonna be tough.
Keenan Allen or Devontae Smith?
Keenan Allen.
Okay.
We haven't seen a lot from Devontae Smith, but I think he was the focal point of that Philly offense last year. Well, you could argue that Dallas Goedert was the focal point of the passing game, but I'd say that they tried to get him involved a lot, and he still didn't break 1,000 yards. So I don't know. Yeah, I think you got to go with.
Okay. Another Eagles wide receiver, Keenan Allen or AJ Brown?
That is a lot harder. Okay. See, I like Keenan Allen, but Keenan Allen's also one of those guys that NFL players have respect for. Like,
Oh yeah.
NFL cornerbacks will rank Keenan in like their top 5. So, because he's a hell of a route runner, you know, like that's what he's really good at. Man, wait, what was it? Keenan Allen or who?
AJ Brown.
I think we're gonna go AJ Brown. Actually,
Okay.
it's close though.
Let's see here. Keenan Allen or Deontay Johnson?
I'm gonna go Keenan Allen. That's
Yeah.
tough. That's tough, but I gotta go Keenan Allen.
Okay.
Johnson's had what, one good year now? 2 maybe?
Keenan Allen or Allen Robinson? He now plays for the Rams.
Yeah. Dude, I forget he's on the Rams now. That's not fun. Well, I mean, I guess they lost Odell, so basically the same thing. I'm going to go Keenan Allen, I think. Just we
Okay.
haven't really seen much of Allen Robinson recently,
Mm-hmm.
but he
Bad
is
year last year.
yeah, he's really talented. So, yeah, I'll go Keenan Allen though still. I like these. I like the ones you're throwing at me so far.
Keenan Allen or Michael Pittman Jr.?
Michael Pittman Jr.
Really? Okay.
I don't even need to think about it. I'm big. I'm drinking the Kool-Aid on Pittman Jr. too. I think he's going to be a
Okay.
stud, especially, dude. He would
With Matt Ryan.
look at what he did with Carson Wentz. Yeah, he's going to be a stud with Matt Ryan.
Okay. All right. That's all I got for you.
All right. Next on my list, I'll go back to quarterback for this one. Then I got one more after this. Is Baker Mayfield. So, and I know we've talked about Baker Mayfield quite a bit on the podcast. I feel like you're not like a huge Baker lover, but definitely more than me. So I'll go Baker Mayfield or Jalen Hurts.
Baker.
Really?
I think Hurts sucks.
Wow.
Dude,
I'm actually
I've-
surprised.
I've never seen a quarterback that loves to underthrow balls more than Jalen Hurts. Maybe Carson Wentz. Jalen Hurts sucks.
All right, not even the running potential.
I mean, the running potential, yes, is the best part of his game, but he wasn't good until they implemented a full-on running offense. So, I mean, it's the same thing for Baker, but I'd rather have Baker than Jalen Hurts.
All right, I respect it, but interesting. Matt Ryan or Baker Mayfield?
Matt Ryan.
Okay, I thought that was a little bit of a layup. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I feel like this one's a little interesting. Baker Mayfield or Jimmy Garoppolo? That was tough.
Just look at the winning percentage. Look what
Yeah.
he's done. Multiple NFC Championship games. Led the team to a Super Bowl. Jimmy Garoppolo.
All right, fair enough. I
He's
think
efficient.
you have to as well. Yeah, even though he's boring to watch, yeah, like you said, his win percentage is damn good. All right, this one may be tough for you. Baker Mayfield or Jameis Winston? Yeah, I don't know, man. That's a toughie.
Mr. 30 for 30 himself was definitely better last year.
He was, yeah. You going with Jameis?
Yeah, I'm gonna rock with Jameis.
Okay, I think that I would also go with Jameis too, but I think that one's pretty close.
Yeah.
Although I love Jameis just for the meme, and I am a Baker hater, they're pretty close in terms of talent. All right. Baker Mayfield or Jared Goff?
Baker.
Okay. I thought you would say that. I can see an argument for it. I would probably also go Baker, but part of me can see an argument. All right, that's really all I got for that one because again, most of the rest are probably layups.
Okay. Next up, I got Kyle Pitts.
Okay, throwing a tight end in there. All right.
Yeah. Kyle Pitts or Dallas Goedert?
Kyle Pitts. That's
Okay.
tough. Goddard's a good option, but I think Pitts he had a pretty good year with a crappy offense, and he's only going to get better. So,
Okay. Kyle Pitts or Darren Waller?
Darren Waller when he's
Yeah.
healthy, you got to go Darren Waller. Yeah,
Targeting Darren Waller this year.
Dude, I don't know, man. His injury stuff coming up, or there's apparently he might not be ready for week 1.
That sucks.
Even if he misses 1 week, though, Darren Waller's still probably going to be a good option.
Let's see. Travis Kelce, obviously, is going to be Kelce.
Yeah, you got to go Kelce there.
I'm going to start throwing in some big-bodied wide receivers, too.
Okay.
Darren Waller or Julio Jones? I mean, not Darren Waller. Kyle Pitts.
Kyle Pitts. Kyle Pitts or Julio Jones. Well, if we're talking right now, I'm going to go Kyle Pitts.
Mm-hmm.
But if we're talking like in their primes, you got to go Julio. So, no question about it.
Okay. And then give me 1 second.
Dude, I don't know though. Pitts, I like him. I kind of just wish though Atlanta, at least the quarterback situation, wasn't what it was right now because he's not going to have any reliable targets all season.
Okay. Kyle Pitts or DJ Moore?
I'm going to go with DJ Moore, actually. I like DJ Moore a lot. Yeah, I like DJ Moore a lot. I think he's very underrated. I mean, look who's throwing the ball to him, so I don't know. I like DJ Moore. That might be a bit of a stretch, but I'm going to stick to it.
Okay, I know we already mentioned him once, but Kyle Pitts or A.J. Brown?
See, A.J. Brown's better than DJ Moore, so if I'm going with DJ Moore, I got to go with A.J. Brown.
Okay.
But, yeah, I don't know.
Let's see here.
There's one tight end I'm surprised you haven't thrown in yet.
Kyle Pitts or Gronk last year?
Oh, okay. Now that's interesting. That's not who I was thinking about, but Gronk last year or Kyle Pitts. See, here's the thing: is if Gronk didn't have Tom Brady throwing to him last year, I don't know if he would have produced as efficiently as he did last season. So, because Tom Brady's just going to target him whenever he gets the chance. I think I'm actually going to go with Kyle Pitts.
Okay.
Yeah, younger.
And then, last but not least, Kyle Pitts or Mark Andrews?
Mark Andrews. I think you got to go with Mark Andrews. That's actually a really close one, though.
See, I'm going Kyle Pitts on that.
I can see why.
I think he's just
I don't know.
athletic.
But the thing is, right now, I guess you're right in that sense. Maybe long term, but like right now, the situation Mark Andrews is in, he's borderline the wide receiver 1 in Baltimore. And I mean, I guess Kyle Pitts might very well be the wide receiver 1, but shittier quarterback situation. Oh, excuse me, got the hiccups. All right, on to the last one of the list. Running back, and this one might be a little fun one. And I got Alexander Madison. So not a starter, but if you're a fantasy football player, you know the value of Madison and what he brings to the table whenever he actually gets a full game of work and a full body of work.
All right, give me all the RB2s.
All right, let's go Madison or Devin Singletary.
Madison.
Okay.
Devin Singletary is just not that good.
Here's
Madison
one that
could
I
be a
think,
number 1.
I think so too. Yeah. Here's one that is a little bit tougher: Madison or Miles Sanders.
I'm gonna rock with Madison again. Miles Sanders just really hasn't proved himself at all ever.
Okay. let's go Damian Harris.
Damian
Or-
Harris.
Yeah, or Alexander Madison.
Yeah, on this one I'll go Damian.
Okay, that I was about to say that one's maybe a little bit because Damian has been pretty solid recently. Who else? Let's go Alexander Madison or Chase Edmonds.
Madison. Chase Edmonds might take off this year because he is going to be an RB1 for Miami.
That's what I was about to say. Is I think he's going to have a pretty solid season. But all right, this is tough. I'm trying to think of who else. Let's say Darrell Henderson or Alexander Madison.
Madison.
Okay, yeah, that one might have been a little bit of a layup.
Yeah.
I'll
If you
go
ask
with
me Cam Akers, I don't want Cam Akers.
yeah. That would have been too much of a layup as well. Okay, let's go one more. Alexander Madison or Ronald Jones the second.
Yeah, that's kind of another layup for me. I'm going to go with Madison again.
Yeah. See,
Rojo's got that one 98-yard run, but man, he couldn't get it together when he was splitting carries with Leonard Fournette. Madison, every time he's gotten to take over, he's always been good.
Actually, I got one more for you that I think is a good one. Madison or A.J. Dillon?
A.J. Dillon.
Yeah? Okay, I
Yeah.
think so too. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
But those are
I'm
probably
surprised you didn't ask me Tony Pollard.
I was thinking about it. Yeah, I was just about to say those Madison, Dillon, and Pollard are like the best RB2s in the league, probably.
Kareem Hunt.
Okay, yeah, that's true. That's honestly Kareem Hunt's probably the best. That's not even fair.
But if it came between Madison and TP, I'd go TP.
That's what yeah. All right, so that's my 5. What's your last one you got for me?
I know we've talked about it a little bit, but I'm gonna rock with Derek Carr for my last one.
All right, I respect it. We've talked about how high we are on the Raiders this season, so let's see if I'll actually stick to it.
Okay. Derek Carr or Matt Ryan?
Derek Carr. Right
Okay.
now, Derek Carr.
Okay.
Definitely. I don't really have much to say about that one. It's just kind of, Matt Ryan's old. He's regressing. Also, I just want to point out, I haven't said this, but I love how your shirt just says vodka on it. Is that like a wheel inside the O?
Yeah, it's Tito's.
Oh, it's a T. Okay. I was
Yeah.
going to say, that's so funny. It's just vodka in a random font.
Yeah, nah. My mom got this shirt in Hawaii and she gave it to me
Sick.
because they were Tito's vodka was just handing out shit.
All right, sorry, not to interrupt, but who else we got?
Derek Carr, or Kyler Murray.
Ooh. First half of the season, Kyler Murray. Second half of the season, Derek Carr. Once
Okay.
Call of Duty drops, get me out of there.
Yeah, and this new one's gonna be a big one. MW2. I'm definitely buying it.
Yeah.
Let's see. I'm trying to think of. We've already compared to Derek Carr to a lot of quarterbacks.
That is true, yeah. The quarterbacks are definitely tougher, I feel like, because there's only so many, Wide receiver
Let's
and
see.
running back's a little bit more open-ended.
Yeah. That's really all I got for you, man.
All right, yeah, that's fine, yeah. I think plus we've kind of been on the segment a little bit.
We've been throwing it a little bit around, so
Yeah, it's about time to get to our college
Taylor
football
Fade.
picks. Yeah, so for those that don't remember, Taylor Fade is our sports betting segment where we kind of pick our favorite bets for the upcoming weekend, and usually football, college football, NFL is what we've typically done in the past, but without that rudimentary Saturday, Sunday schedule, it's been really hard for us to, pick NBA or MLB games whenever they're literally every single day throughout the week. So yeah, we're back. Taylor Fade is back, week 0, and I'll go ahead and start us off. Oh, I guess I should explain it since it's been a while. So the way we do this is, for example, my first pick that I have for this weekend is Northwestern plus 13 against Nebraska. So Elijah will intern. If he likes the pick, he's going to tail it. He's going to ride with it. And if he doesn't, he's going to fade it and go the opposite. So we usually tally up our records as we go throughout the season to see how we're doing. So with that being said, first one's first. Northwestern plus 13. What do you got, Elijah?
I love it. Tail.
You gonna tail it?
Oh yeah. Nebraska doesn't deserve a 13-point spread. I faded them last year during week 0 against Illinois with Illinois money line. So I'm rocking with Illinois, or Northwestern plus 13, another Big Ten team that I just think is better.
I also did the same thing with Illinois. So yeah, well, yeah, I know what you were about to say. They're not necessarily better,
but they're
Northwestern
better within 13 points. Is what I mean. Yeah, that's
exactly. They may not win the game, but they're going to cover. Is my logic. And plus, Nebraska just lost their quarterback, Adrian Martinez, who was probably the only real highlight of that offense. Now they're without him. They're still stuck with Scott Frost, who is an absolute clown at the head coach position, who's done nothing since he left UCF. But anyway, I digress. All right, so I got to mark that down. So that's a tail for you on that one. Secondly, my next pick, I really like this one, is Wyoming at Illinois over 44.
Yeah, I like that one too. I'm going to tail.
Okay. Yeah, I think Wyoming had a pretty good offense last season, relative, considering they're a Mountain West program. And Illinois at home, Power 5. I know they're not a great Power 5, but they shouldn't have too much trouble moving the ball.
Yeah, Bielema can
I was about to say. Yeah, I was about to say. And plus, they got the
something.
coaching advantage.
Pretty low total, too. 44 for a college football game. I know it's a Big Ten team, but
that's something I say. It's Illinois, Big Ten. They're usually not crazy, but with this one, I like it.
Okay.
All right, and then my last pick, we're only going 3 because week 0 doesn't really have any illustrious games that are eye-popping. But last but not least, this one might be a bit of a true gamble, and I'm going to go with UConn. The worst team in the FBS last season, UConn plus 27 against Utah State.
Fade.
You're fading it? All right.
UConn
I respect
is trash.
Okay, but they got a few transfer players. You never know. They just hired a new coach. I mean, they were 35-point underdogs against Houston, and they didn't cover it. But if they're 35-point underdogs against Houston, Utah State is significantly worse than 8 points compared to Houston, So I don't know. That was my logic.
Utah's still a good Utah State's still a good football program, though.
They're decent, yeah.
They put up numbies.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. This one's, like I said, it's kind of a true gamble. I just want to see if UConn's going to be any different than they were last year.
Okay.
All right, so we got 2 tails and a fade. All right, a little bit of spread the love. What do you got for
me? UNT even value -110 versus UTEP.
This one was tough. When I was looking at the board, I saw this one, and I kind of like it because UNT has slightly high expectations. Some experts are even picking them to win the conference. UTEP, though, if you talk about them, last year was their best year in 2 decades, something crazy. They haven't won more than 2 football games in a long time. They won 5 last year, so kind of nuts. But I don't know if that's going to continue. I think I have to agree. UNT's probably the better team. They beat them last year. I think they beat them again. I'm going to tail that pick.
Okay. Hawaii money line plus 255 versus Vandy. I'm rocking with the money line. Don't even give me the 8 points. I want the money line. Give them.
See, if it was the 8 points, I'm still a little hesitant. I might, because I was looking at this too, and I was like, that's a lot of points against Vandy. Vandy's bad. I don't care if they're in the SEC. Vandy and Hawaii are basically on the same level. But then there's a lot of sharp action, big money on Vandy. And the line has gone from Vandy 6.5 to Vandy 8.5. So that scares me. And for that reason, I think I'm going to have to fade this, even though I'm going to feel like an idiot, if I fade a bet because of Vanderbilt. Anyway, I'll fade that one. What's your last one?
Okay, yawned. FAU -7 versus Charlotte.
I think this one's going to be a bit of a sweat. Charlotte is slightly better than one might think, based on the fact that they have no history or no recent success. But they go about 5-7, 6-6 every year. They win a few games, and that's where FAU has been recently. So ever since the Lane train left, I'm gonna go with tail though, because I think FAU is the better program, the better team, and 1 touchdown isn't really that crazy to ask for. So, all right. And with that being said, that is our first edition of Taylor Fade for college football. I'm excited whenever we have both college football and NFL. That's when it gets really exciting.
Yeah, we do 5-5 each. I need to
Yeah.
tally up our record from last year. I need to go way back.
Mm-hmm.
I think I might have edged you out, even though you had that hot start.
Yeah, I think you did maybe, but like it was really close though.
Mm-hmm.
We honestly were like
At
pretty.
one point, we
even.
were even. We
Yeah.
were dead even.
And we had
we hit it like what
combined,
73%.
Yeah, combined we had a pretty damn good rate. Like we need to just I need to just do that, bro. Start
That'll
betting
be
on-
my six. That'll be my 6 picks. So I'm gonna make 6 picks, and they're gonna be these ones.
Just dude, I don't.
A unit
I
on
don't
each.
know, man.
Actually, that's
Well,
$180
but the thing
for
though,
week 0.
the thing though is if we're betting like that, you would have to fade your Hawaii pick.
I'll just use the spread.
Okay, that's true. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, dude, I think that might be a good way to go about it because we've done pretty decent. Maybe just try it out with like half a unit on each one for
Yeah.
a little bit.
Oh, I'm putting.
See how
I might
it
put 2 on Northwestern.
I might too. Yeah, I think the only thing that scares me is it's in Nebraska, in the land of the corn.
Be tight.
I don't know. I mean, yeah, they got a good atmosphere though, but I think it'll be at least within 13. All right, let's wrap things up with a little short segment of Love It or Loathe It. For those that don't know, we just fire off rapid sports topics back and forth. If we love it, we say that we love it. We'll talk about it for a little bit. If we loathe it, we might just move on. But if we really loathe it, we'll probably stop and say why we hate it. All right, so I'll take the second batch of them. So first things first is Art Moreno is exploring the idea of selling the Los Angeles Angels.
I love it. They're trash. They have the 2 best players in baseball, and they can't even get a winning record. And what other league can that happen? Your answer is 0. I don't care if you're playing, Tibetan soccer. I mean, it's going to be the 2 best players. You're going to have winning record. It's ridiculous. And they also have the worst farm system in baseball. Rankings came out the other day, and farm system rankings. So, yeah, I love it. He's trash. Get him out of there.
All right.
I like it as a Rangers fan, though, because we get beat the shit out of them in our division, but...
Yeah, I was about to say, it's so crazy to me. Like you said, just the best 2 players in baseball probably, and maybe even the best 2 players in, like, the past 20 years. And maybe of all time, like, once they're both said and done in their careers. So, yeah, the fact that they're not a winning team is just bad. All right, so next one. This is kind of the big one. Maybe you want to talk about it a little bit back and forth. Kevin Durant and the Brooklyn Nets are moving forward together after having a very successful meeting, apparently.
Well, low that we already talked about at the beginning of the episode, remember?
Oh, yeah, that's true, I guess. Yeah, how we didn't want to see Kyrie. Yeah, you're right. I forgot about that. But, all right, so, yeah, definitely loathe that. Next one and last one is the Carolina Panthers named Baker Mayfield the starting quarterback over Sam Darnold.
Love it. Browns money line, week 1.
Oh, God, dude.
That's all I got to say.
I did like, though.
I mean, not Browns money line. I mean, Panthers money line, week 1.
Okay, I was about
That's
to
what I meant
say,
to say.
like, yeah,
I didn't mean
'cause
Browns.
I'm taking Panthers.
I'm taking Panthers.
But I did like, I saw not Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold, sorry. Sam Darnold in the media kind of came out, and they were, of course, grilling him with questions like, what does this mean for you? How do you react? What do you do? And I feel like he handled it very professionally. It was like, I'm here to make Baker the best he can be. I'm here to make the team win. Like, which, what else are you going to say if you're a professional quarterback that just got benched? Like, in some aspects, I get people being angry, but if like I was in that position, I'm still getting paid millions of dollars a year to not get CTE, and I just get to sit on the sidelines, bro.
Oh,
that's
backup
awesome.
quarterbacks. Alex Moran, best job in the world is backup quarterback.
Yeah, dude, exactly. All right, that's all I got for you. So switching gears, your turn to fire them off of me.
All right. Albert Pujols moves to 693 career home runs with just over 5 weeks remaining in the season. The 700 club is within reach. Absolutely
love it. If you don't love this, what the hell is wrong with you? Albert Pujols is just one of the legends of the games. I meant to include this in my highlight at the beginning of the episode, but earlier in the week, I went to the Diamondbacks-Cardinals game, and I saw Pujols go 4 for 4 from the plate with 2 back-to-back home runs to start the game. It was nuts. The crowd was going insane. even Diamondback fans were clapping. So it was really cool to see. So yeah, I love that. I hope he gets to 700. I think he can do it. He's got enough time to get 7.
Okay. Danny Ricciardo will be leaving McLaren at the end of the 2022-2023 season, Formula One.
I love it. I'm very sad as a McLaren supporter in the realm of F1. Daniel Ricciardo is also my favorite driver for my favorite team, so it was a dream scenario. I mostly loathe it though because Zach Brown, the team principal and CEO of McLaren, it kind of handled the situation poorly. The way he treated Ricciardo was almost as if he's not the only driver that's won McLaren a race in the past decade, which he is. Lando Norris hasn't won a race yet. Not to shit on Lando, but so the way he was kind of treated in this move was annoying. They basically forced him out so that they wouldn't have to pay a pretty penny to the FIA for canceling his contract early. So loathe that. I don't know where we're going to see him next, but he'll still be in F1. I'm not worried.
The Dolphins have brought up tight end Mike Gesicki in trade discussions.
I love this. I would be interested to see Gesicki end up somewhere else, mostly because he's almost never really exceeded expectations in Miami. Like he shows flashes where he's like, man, this guy could be like a top group tight end. You know, he could be one of the better guys, but then it doesn't really come into fruition. Maybe that's because he has Tua throwing the ball to him. Maybe that's because he has a lot of talented players competing for targets around him. But yeah, I love that. I want to see him somewhere else. That'd be interesting.
I'd like to see him get traded to your Bengals.
I was just about to say, I hope we target him because, I mean, we got Hayden Hurst. Oh, great. Yeah, Hayden Hurst is a tight end 1. Lovely. I would love Gesicki, but again, we're pretty crowded in the receiver department, so I don't know how much that'll work out. Alrighty, though, that is going to wrap it up for this week's episode. A little bit shorter than we've been going in recent weeks, but it is what it is. We're itching closer to football, so, of course, be ready for that. And, yeah, thanks for listening if you guys stayed the whole time, and we'll see you guys next week. Elijah, any last comments or thoughts?
Nope.
Alrighty. See y'all next week. Peace.